The next line, give us this day our daily bread. Ten lanu hayom lechem chocheinu. This is a beautiful line because it's a prayer which poor communities can pray. If you haven't got bread, you can pray, you can ask God for bread, literally. But if you have got bread, if you come from a richer society, the way we do, then we must never lose that gratitude for having food and having drink and having all the necessaries of life. Of course, it covers everything. It's not just bread. It's not just food. It's not just drink. It's everything, actually. And how I pray this is that I pray that God will give to me today all that is necessary in my life. Even if it's unpleasant, even if it's something that I wouldn't particularly ask for, I say to God, Father, I give you permission, as it were. I give to you the right to give to me today all that I need. Now, this is ever so important. It's a beautiful prayer because through the day then, when things happen, and some things happen that may not be welcome particularly, you remind yourself then that you've already asked God, you've already asked the Father to ration, as it were, to give you your rations for the day. So this thing that is happening to me is all part of God's will, and now I've just got to see God in it. So we start looking for the Father in all that we do. We start looking for the Father in our life, in our day's course. And things happen, and maybe at first we get a bit disappointed, something happens, but then we quickly pick ourselves up because we say, now, hold on, I asked the Father this morning to give me this day my daily bread. So this is fine. Somewhere God is in this, and there's a reason that it's happened to me, and it's for my good. I'm sure it's for my good because everything that God does is for our good. That's for sure. So this is an important prayer in this way. You may remember, however, that to go back to the bread and the food business, I think it's absolutely wonderful that Jesus, with all the things that are on his mind and all the things that are in his heart, the desire for the universe, the glory of God filling the earth, all these transcendent visions and understandings that Jesus has, he raises the girl from the dead. He raises somebody from the dead. I mean, that's enough to make your day right there. He raises her from the dead, and everybody's just wondering and amazed about the whole thing. And what does Jesus say? Jesus looks at the girl, and he can see, he's thinking as she's thinking. He's got empathy, he understands, and he looks at her and he says, he interrupts the people, as it were, and he says, give her something to eat. And I think that's wonderful. I think it's the most wonderful parts of Scripture, that Jesus, that the Son of God, doing these wonderful miracles, would have a mind to be thinking of somebody being hungry. And he says, give her something to eat. She's just been raised from the dead. Surely eating is not that it is. She was hungry and he saw it. And I think that's lovely. Jesus rises from the dead himself. Where do we see him? We see him on the seashore. We see him on the beach. And they're out in the boat and they look and they see Jesus on the beach there. What is he doing? He's preparing fish for them to eat. I mean, it's just a wonderful thing that this Jesus that we love and serve and we look forward to him coming, this Jesus is mindful of all the little necessities of our lives. And this little line in the prayer, give us this day our daily bread, is it's a tender, it's a small part of the prayer, as it were. Yet, if you want to enlarge it, it does come to this. The Hebrew word is chokeinu. Where does chokeinu? Give us this day our daily chokeinu. It's our daily bread, we interpret as daily bread, but it actually comes from the word chok. Now, chok is an interesting word because it means something that happens or something that is commanded that you don't understand. Yet God expects you to receive it and to do it. So we don't always understand why God says certain things. If we have to understand everything that he says before we do it, then we're not truly trusting him. To trust God is to do what he says. It says about the Jews at Sinai, they said, we will do and we will understand. And they put it in that order. We will do and we will understand. Not we will understand and then we'll do. That's the Greek way of thinking. The Hebrew way is we'll do it in trust, and in the doing we will learn to trust you and understand why we're doing these things. So one of the hocks, which is important in Jewish thinking, is the slaying of the red heifer. The red heifer would be slain, and it would be offered up as a burnt offering, and the ashes would cleanse the unclean. But the priest who applied the ashes to the person himself became unclean. So it's odd, it made the clean, the priest, unclean, and it made the sinner clean. What on earth is this all about? They never understood it. It was said that even Solomon, in all his wisdom, never understood the offering of the red heifer. But they said, this is hock. This is something we must do. We don't understand it, but we must do it. And I wonder if you know that they are breeding a red heifer now for the third temple. And in fact, I believe they've been successful in breeding a red heifer. The heifer must be completely red, not more than one hair of white on the body. And they've got this already. I think they've produced it, as they've produced all the articles for the temple, which is soon to come, because the Messiah is coming soon. And these are very exciting times. So I hope those thoughts are helpful.